Smoked chicken must be one of my absolute favorite recipes, and it is one of the easiest and actually the most mess-free things that one can do. All you do is to use a nice fresh chicken, and it's always prudent to cut the preen gland out, just in case the fat in the preen gland has gone a little bit rancid. The chicken has just been washed and dried, and we've got a nice little flavor mix here. It's the chicken stock powder, brown grill seasoning, and a little bit of flour. Now we use about half of that flavor blend, and we sprinkle it inside the cavity of the chicken. Then we cut a lemon through the waist. I can actually cut it 2 pieces to make it easier. Put it inside the chicken, and whatever fresh herbs, we've just washed them and rolled them in some kitchen paper, wet kitchen paper. Keep them fresh. You can put the other half of the lemon in. And now it's a good idea to truss the chicken, to tie it up nicely so it cooks evenly. Take a long piece of string, halve it, and hook the string around the parson's nose. Cross it over the parson's nose. Then you go on top of the drumsticks and under the drumsticks, so that you can pull this whole lot together nicely. Then bring the string up, turn the body over, and cross the string on top of the back, and now we're turning it back on its back and tie it nice and tight. Can you see how everything gets pulled together? There you are. Now we've got a nice compact chicken, flavored in the middle and with the lemon and the herbs in there. The rest of the seasoning mix we rub into the chicken. Now once we've prepared the chicken, then we can prepare the pan. Now you can use any old saucepan that you have at home. Don't use one of your very best saucepans because it will get damaged on the inside. Now my favorite smoking pot is a pressure cooker that has lost its rubber band, and I can't use it for pressure cooking anymore. And you can see from all the years of smoking things, the inside of this pot has now become quite black. So I actually don't use it for other things. I keep it as a smoking pot. But you can use a black iron pot. You can use any old pot that you have. But I'll explain to you just now about the iron pot. Then what you do is at the hardware store, you buy some untreated wood shavings. You don't want wood shavings with poison in them. And you sprinkle on the base of your pot about 1 to 1.5. Don't be tempted to use more wooden shavings, because the smoke that comes off the shavings can make the chicken bitter. So and then you take any foil dish or any old cake pan that you have, set it on top, but you've noticed that I've used something to elevate the foil above the base of the pot. And it's very important that you have little gaps on the side here so that the smoke can come up and circulate around the chicken. The chicken goes into the pot on top of the foil dish or whatever dish you're using, and just to make sure that we keep as much of the smoke in as possible. Put foil over the pot, tuck it in nice and tight, and then, so the lid is on, got some foil around it, just tuck it up nicely all around. Now the big trick is this pot goes on the highest heat of your stove for 15 minutes. Then you turn the heat to medium low, and you don't open the pot because you don't want the smoke to escape, and you cook it for another hour. Wow. Now keep your fingers crossed. Now we use an iron potjie, flat one, to do this one in. And you can see, look at that perfect golden brown, beautifully smoked chicken. But now there's a couple of rules that you must remember. If you're using a pot like this, it wouldn't be a good idea to use it on a glass hob. You must use, or even a solid hob. If you're using a solid hob stove, then you must preheat that stove for at least 5 minutes before you put it on. But a gas fire, and of course, I mean, you can do it on the braai. But the beauty of this pot, of course, is it doesn't matter if it gets messed up a little bit. So we lift our beautifully smoked chicken. It really looks good. And you know, with all meat, irrespective of whether it's beef or chicken or whatever, always cover it lightly with foil and leave it to rest for 10 minutes. Then all the juices will draw back into the meat. Now in this pan in which we cook the chicken, we have this beautiful, beautiful juice left. Please, please do not throw this out. You can just taste it. It is almost the essence of smoked chicken in here. It is totally divine. And what you can do here is just add a little bit of water to this and put it back on the stove, the pan as is, and then just stir that gravy, just so that you get every little bit of browning and flavor off that. And that we can use as, don't thicken the gravy, it's just a thin, watery juice that we pour over the chicken after we've cut it. Now let's just look at a quick little carving of this baby. Oh, you look so lovely, my darling. And you know, the next day, this is so much nicer because the smoke flavor is intensified. Or you could serve it hot with vegetables and nice roast potatoes or mashed potatoes. Get rid of all the string. Let's first just, oh, this is done to perfection. You can see it just breaks away in the joints. Here we've got a nice thigh and a drumstick. Can remove the wingtip, the wings, same thing. Now to carve the breast, which is the most delicious part of the chicken, I always think. Just carve. So just cut the breast on this side into slices, turn the carcass around and slice that side. And then all these little bits and pieces that you pick off the carcass afterwards makes the most divine chicken mayonnaise. Well, there you are, smoked chicken without any fuss.